realized I never included a link to the YouTube page.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Call to Action Reacts to Who's the Boss in Crimson Fury.
Hi.
This is how we like to open.
To be here. Are you? I'm psyched.
I am so psyched. I have been excited for this match. Once I knew who was going to be competing in it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be great because we have one of our dads competing with, the person he betrayed our other dad for.
I'm not ready.
And then we have Stacy, who everyone underestimates, including us. So what do we do? I don't even know who to root for this time.
Okay, so I was talking to Lucas the other day, and as you know, he's running through all this, and so a lot of this is very fresh to him. And he brought a handful of things to my attention where I was like, oh shit. In terms one, Stacy is constantly ignored in terms of conversation of great Schmoedown players. She's constantly underrated. She's never in the conversation. And something you really have to respect about her is just like, I'm not here to just hang out and chat. I'm here to play the game and I'm in it to win it. So, and I'm like, and once he was like talking to me about it, I was like, oh shit, you're right. Smacking.
Yeah.
And that's how she came out and really knocked out the park with Riley. She's been an undercard against Mark Ellis, obviously. And, she's actually really solid. When she's good, she's great.
It's
and
true.
So we really need to talk more about her as far as really solid competitors for sure.
Oh, sure. She needs to be in the conversation a lot more. I'm guilty of it too. I don't know why she's not, but she isn't. And that's unfortunate because she deserves to be. She is an extremely solid player. Mm-hmm. So I just can't wait to see what she does. And also, I think I'm not going to lie. It's great that Lucas is now watching all these. It's fun to get this outside perspective because we're so in this. We've been so in this for so long. We might have goggles on a little bit.
We're kind of hyper focused.
Exactly.
We're having a hard time seeing, the bigger picture for sure. Exactly. Also, something, to think about as well is that, when we watch a lot of these lives, we're a part of the group chats, we're part of the Facebook communities and everything. So we're constantly messaging each other, all the time being like, oh, this person didn't have a great first round. This person's interview sucked or whatever the discussion was that day. Hey, that is you, Lucas. Hey, babe. That and so everything is very quick for us. Mm-hmm. But Lucas is seeing a lot of this through not only fresh eyes, but he's seeing her performance in its entirety.
Yes.
Not little by little like we do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely pretty interesting. That's for sure. I'm excited.
All right, so ready to start this match? I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win today?
I had Who's the Boss taking the whole thing, but I also had Crimson Fury losing in round 1. Mm-hmm. Now, I think they might have it, honestly. They're on fire right now. So, Crimson Fury.
Crimson Fury?
Yeah.
You think Crimson Fury is going to be Who's the Boss?
Maybe, yeah. I'm interested to see, but I think
I would love to see that. I love an upset. I do love an upset. So
I need to stop underestimating them. So
absolutely. Not to mention, Tom.
Yeah.
The more he plays, the more I'm like, damn, untapped potential. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see him compete more often. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I like him in interviews as well. All right, let's do this. Oh, and by the way, I'm an underscore girl. So I'm gonna go with Crimson Fury. Even though my head says Who's the Boss. Mm-hmm. And I know they're both working so hard. They deserve it and everything. I'm not saying the other competitors don't, but at the same time where my head knows that. But for some reason, I maybe because it's such a baby fresh team and I'm just so fresh and excited for Crimson Fury.
I guess it's about time to find out what happens.
Okay, let's go. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Right. Let's get this started. Also, people let me know volume.
Business.
Spectacular comes to downtown Los
Sounds
Angeles. Good. So does the first ever Schmoedown Fan Expo, the first ever Schmoedown Minicon, if you will.
Now wait to see you go to the fan con. Did you see the list of a lot of the competitors that are going to be there?
Yeah, and that was like pending. It's like sounds like there's gonna be even more. Those are just the for sure ones.
Yeah, there is a Janine. There is, Riley. There was a Bateman. Obviously, Ghai said he might drop in, but he has some other things going on, so he doesn't know for sure. Bibbs, obviously, Roca. Oh my gosh, I mean, Emma, obviously. Just so many people. Rachel. Theo, obviously.
I know. I'm so excited for all the pros that are gonna be there, but also I'm so excited for the viewers that are gonna be there too, because we're finally gonna get to meet a bunch of people that we've seen online forever. It's like, finally, we're meeting in person.
And I'll finally get the chance to punch some people in the face.
Yeah, some throat punches.
Throat punch.
We've been threatening them for months. They're coming.
I've been dreaming about this moment. I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't seen Paddington 2 versus Evil Machine.
I haven't seen that one either. So guys,
react to that. You need to react to that. That's like, it's embarrassing how long it's been.
Yeah,
it's been out for like 5 days.
Yeah, we didn't react to that. I didn't because it got spoiled for me.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? I'm looking for Mike. I want to give that dude a wedgie. Come on. I'm here to give Mike a wedgie. What are the chances? Let's go.
Oh man.
Well, I think the chances of them running into each other here are about 78% of chance, but given the fact that Kaiser wanders around into 38% of the time, I'd say.
Where are you getting these stats? I need to know. Mikey numbers?
Yeah.
Mikey. I just call him Mikey numbers.
Mikey
numbers. Where the 70% chance of likeliness of running into each other at Orlando Studios? Come on. Numbers. That's right. Numbers.
Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the movie trivia Schmoedown. It is the ultimate Schmoedown team.
That's hot.
Clark, we are deep in round 2 action, and what a matchup it is today. Crimson Fury taking on who's the boss, and who the hell would have thought we'd be seeing this matchup right now in round.
That's what I love about this match.
Right out of the There's
a big surprise here in Crimson Fury, but they pulled it out at the end of their last match.
Jeremiah.
Such
a legend chat
films won the game, and here they are going up against one of the top ranked teams in the entire teams league. That's why these tournaments are so fun, because it's anybody's game.
Well,
funny enough,
thank you, Clark.
something else also brought to my attention is that Shirewolves haven't really played in a team tournament before.
Recent history, that being Mark Jody Riley.
Yeah.
When you think about it, they haven't actually played in a team tournament.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Right? It's kind of weird. I was like, they're always in conversation for best team of all time, right?
Oh yeah.
They're on the Mount Rushmore of teams. I mean, of competitors and everything. I'm not saying they do or don't deserve to be there, but it was kind of weird where it kind of Lucas brought that to my attention. I was like,
right. And they're building that chemistry, and that's what's really important. But I will say,
I never even thought about that. That's crazy.
Yes, Who's the Boss is a higher ranked team, but they also have the advantage of having played.
Mine got busted a long time ago.
Ryan's trying to drop little nuggets saying that he actually is his bracket's been pretty good so far. We'll see if today it's definitely continues.
Interesting matchup for sure.
Any special preparation, because obviously
as of right now, who I have being the final 2 are both still options, but how that got there, other teams have won that I didn't think were going to win, and it was in my bracket. So
can you imagine if the family and Who's the Boss went up against each other?
Well, I know what you all would do. It'd be like, and then I'll have this internal struggle between I don't know who to pick. So then I'll just refuse to react to that reaction.
No, the answer is the family, because Ghai is on there. You traitor, Jesus. I don't know who to pick. Are you fucking kidding me?
I
have faith Ben will see the light. He has gone a dark path, I know, but he will come back to us.
More often than not, they do not. So
I have more faith that he's going to get a heart attack on his way through that table. How about that?
Well, things never go the way that we plan it when the pre-interviews happen. So let's see what each team had to say right now.
Robbie and Tommy.
It's Rocky, Tum Tum, and Colt.
That was such a great match.
It
Really.
was so good.
A lot of people had them in their
He
brackets.
really
and that has
was.
now been busted at the hands of Sassy Stacey Howard and Tim the Tank Franco.
Crimson Fury, Tim the Tank Franco, Sassy Stacey Howard, event coordinator.
Sassy Stacey Howard, but really bracket breaker Stacey Howard.
Yeah, it was like, Sassy kind of makes it seem like it's, I won't say it's childish,
did what we
but
always
it's
knew they could do, work together as a
bracket
cohesive
breaker
unit,
would
and get
definitely
the
be a
big
lot
win
more
and
badass.
Send the dungeon packing. But now we got some legends. The 5 horsemen.
It's a statistical fact that most people go back to their abusers.
Oh.
So, it's going to be a fun time for me.
Work on that, Mark. Here we are again. One down.
That's awful.
Couple more to go.
I got ducked for a minute.
Now we got to play Corruption's B team.
Streaky Stacey Howard
Corruption's
coming in
B
and knocking me out of the first round.
Damn.
Just really made me upset to have that back in
I
there
did.
for retribution and
Did it?
continue to keep going through these teams to get that. Oh, I'm excited.
I'm not afraid of this. We're excited for this. Bateman and Riley. I mean, it's like being afraid of a vanilla.
As
milkshake.
usual, Grace
Come
looking
on.
amazing.
He's supposed to be the killer on this
Fair
team.
agree.
I think we're going to show
It's
them
like
who the boss really
who I
is.
wish my spirit animal
Never
actually
thought
was.
that, but it's, we'll knock him out of this tournament.
But it isn't.
I said
because
it
I'm not
before, and I was very confident about it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm out there to win. I'm out there to show you who I am and give you a piece of my mind. I'm here for
Wait,
justice.
did you just say I'm
here to
not
bring
here to
something
win?
good to this league. That's what we are.
Or is that just hesitation in this?
Something good. Or something great.
Hmm.
Can you just say I'm not here to win? I'm just here to tell you who I am. Like, are you
They take that.
like, no, take backsies.
We heard it.
I see. I like hearing the moxie. I like hearing the confidence coming out of Crimson Fury because they had a big matchup that a lot of people would call an upset. Even though Crimson Fury was a higher ranked opponent, they knocked off. I mean, you talk about Eric and especially Paulo Oyama, the current belt holder in the singles division, them being able to get that W, that's got to propel them and give them a lot of confidence. But who's the boss? They're looking at Crimson Fury, where this is just another opponent. This is just an obstacle to them on their way to belts. So when I see that pre-interview, I worry that who's the boss maybe overlooking Crimson Fury. Do you get any sense of that?
That's the thing, is that, okay, so Crimson Fury has a lot to gain from this win, right? If they're playing Who's the Boss and they take out Who's the Boss, then they're the team that everybody is going to be keeping their eye on, because maybe people wouldn't necessarily expect that. But Who's the Boss has the added pressure of they want those belts. They are hungry for those belts. And so if they're getting inside their own head,
not hungry for the belt,
that might not be the best plan either.
We are going to see what's happening in this match right now. It's going to be 3 rounds to the finish. Here's the tale of the tape. Crimson Fury, they know their way around such categories as action movies and crime films. Then you go to Who's the Boss. Obviously, they know a lot about movie release dates, but they're also really good at scores and soundtracks and following out.
It's true. I love Clark being on the desk. I love watching her compete, but I really enjoy her on the desk.
I really do too as well. I miss her. I am quite curious to see the interaction of her at the desk being a former teammate of Riley as well.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
This is that interaction.
With a record.
Lucas, what's wrong with you?
I'm on like tuna casserole though.
Tuna and cheese don't belong together. I just
tuna casserole.
Nope.
With noodles and good stuff. I'm into that.
Crimson Fury.
You're looking good.
Where's the wine? Where's the wine? Where's the vino?
Tim and Stacy pointing, I think at us. Was that pointing at
Ken's not eating anything.
That's right.
That's kind of pointing out. It's kind of hoping.
He's been Ken. Had something. Had a donut. Had a piece of pizza.
Over there, am I right?
Sucker. Lollipop thing.
Lollipop again. Exactly.
You're ready to go. You have any last words before I introduce your opponents?
Wait, are you cheesy Mac?
Wow. All right.
This is round 2 of the tournament, but it's also round 2 of Riley.
He's actually eating cheesy tuna.
Wow, tough talk.
Alex, if you start eating cheesy tuna on camera, I'm going to have to leave.
With a record of 5-2 with 2 knockouts. What did the Rainbow
He is.
The Boss
Listen,
Bateman
oh, man.
and Mark
think you added a word there. It's supposed to be tuna mac is shit.
Is the shit. I had to know.
Oh.
It's crazy that they started out as a team only last season and they're at 5-2.
Yeah.
It's already like such a fantastic I mean, not ranking, but those are like really great numbers for such a young. I mean, they're not this mega young team considering they
are seated. We'll go on to the rules of round number 1. In round number 1, 8 questions are asked.
I was gonna make a joke, but I won't.
This is an individual exercise in round number 1. Every point that you accrue is on behalf of your team. Each question is worth a point.
We're a family show, so I'll refrain.
Once the question's asked, you got about 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer.
I know, but when you think about like who's the boss, they have great numbers, but when you think about their losses are big losses. Like when it really counts is when they lose.
Are you trying to say something right now?
I guess I'm saying
you were a Ben believer.
I am a Ben believer, but I believe he would be better if he got back together with Ghai.
You also each have one challenge to be used at any point throughout the 3-round match. With all of that talking out of the way, I already got the take from Crimson Fury. They seem ready. They had some strong words for you, gentlemen. Mark and Ben, do you have anything you'd like to retaliate with before the match begins?
Yeah. I'm pleased to be here against the B team. This will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, what he said, because it's right.
All right, Clark, do I need to ask you?
What I want to happen is Ben to come back to the right side of things and bring Riley with him. Let's get ready to Schmoedown! You're like, I'm leaving these guys. Come on, Riley. Come to join us.
Who's the boss?
Because I don't have a problem with Riley per se, other than that he's a horseman.
Ooh, question.
Yes.
If you were a competitor, what retired Schmoedown personality would you like as a manager?
Oh, good. Okay.
As a manager?
I'm ready.
As a manager, so that includes Sam Lagoon, that can include
Category of action adventure.
Mark.
What 2005 adventure fantasy
That's
film
a tough
stars
one.
Matt Damon and
Honestly, probably Rachel. I feel like she because I feel like she's similar on camera with how I feel like I would, where it's just not a natural thing and you have to kind of work on it. I feel like she'd be really good at giving me the pep talk for that. Like, tune that out, focus on the questions, and like that. So, yeah, for me, I think Rachel would be good.
And we go to Stacy first. Who do we got?
The Brothers Grimm.
It is the Brothers Grimm. Did Ben have it?
The Brothers Grimm.
He's got it, Tim.
Monica Bellucci.
Nope, didn't get it.
That's the wit.
Have it.
All right, that's okay.
All right, so Mark Yodi Riley has been eliminated. No, wait.
Oh, wow, that fast, huh?
That's just
Yikes.
That's how we get all the views. It's like, okay, call to action mukbang.
And the question in the world of romance is, who is the
We get
male
so rich, we did my thing.
in the 2011 film Midnight in Paris?
Wow.
I can't remember.
Wow.
And because my dad's
That's a really horrible impression. The answer is Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
But I might go Damon. 5,
Mm.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Ben Bateman. What do you got?
Owen Wilson.
It is Owen Wilson. Tim.
Wow, Owen Wilson.
Had it
I'm so used to Ben with the beard. It's almost like jarring that he doesn't have a beard here.
I didn't notice that. Oh,
Tight
It's
game,
not
good
occurring to me.
impressions. I like what I'm seeing early on.
Question number 3 in the category of dramas. What 2005 film stars Eric Bana, Daniel Craig, and Kieran Hines?
it's the movie by Spielberg.
I think Damon is more consistent.
I think Matt Damon is more consistent than Ben Affleck.
I sure do.
Woo. Strong words. from
Hot
Clark.
takes.
5.
Be careful Googling.
Googling.
Question, please.
It is a beautiful,
Category of drama.
terrifying
What
tool.
2005 film stars Eric Bana, Daniel Craig, and Kieran Hines?
First of all, sir, that's Miss Fly Girl to you.
Yes, you beat me to it. I love you so much.
He had Munich. Does Mark Yodi Riley?
Munich.
He does as well. Stacey Howard.
Munich. Oh my gosh.
Munich.
All
Great.
right.
Got a couple perfect games so far.
Everybody knows their stuff. Okay, your next category, famous actors and actresses. And the question is, which famous actor directed the films Leatherheads and The Ides of March?
George Clooney.
I saw neither.
And he also did recently Good Night and Good Luck. And that one really awful war movie about art nerds stealing statues and stuff.
George Clooney. It is George Clooney. Does Stacy have it?
George Clooney.
It is Mr. Clooney, Ben, the Boss Bateman.
George Clooney.
George Clooney and Tim the Tank.
George Clooney.
All right.
George Clooney as well. Way too much work correctly. Easier to sit here and ask questions.
He acts in them too. All right, question number 5 in the category of fantasy sci-fi.
Ooh, there you go.
What is the name of Robin Wright's
Monuments Men.
character?
Well done, Corey.
Friend of the show.
You're such a good manager.
Yes.
Finally convinced me to watch that movie.
Princess Buttercup.
Yep.
It's great.
Okay.
I'd never seen it.
Okay. As long as that was the outcome.
4, 3. It's very enjoyable too.
You never know.
1. Pens down, Stacy.
Princess Buttercup.
It is Princess Buttercup. Ben Bateman.
What's her first name? What's her last name?
Fooling us.
I said Buttercup.
Tim had it and Mark Riley.
Buttercup.
The
Princess Buttercup.
same name that I call Mark Riley on occasion. Buttercup.
Buttercup.
Working on some perfect games here. And we move on to the world of. Oh, it seems like I haven't gotten to say this recently, but it's the next category is comedy. It's the one thing that brings.
Oh my gosh. I watched the episode where he did that for the first time. Silent. No one laughed. Not one smidgen of a giggle. And it was so hard. It's like several episodes.
Awkward silence.
For anyone to say anything. For anyone to be like, oh, okay, let's all laugh. Let's all laugh at the group now.
2, 1. Pens down. We are going to Ben Bateman. Who you got?
Courtney Cox.
That is incorrect.
Courtney Cox?
It is Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox.
Remember Sean Young, the detective woman.
Also in Ace
But
Ventura.
he got it wrong too.
That's right.
But not in the
Sean
role
Young
of
is in Ace
Being
Ventura.
sassy.
Lieutenant.
That's right. All right. So I believe Tim.
Okay, I'm gonna go do a Star Wars trivia.
Sure.
No.
Cox, star of the Bruce Springsteen video Dancing in the Dark.
Can't get in.
All right, question number 7. Thriller.
Alex is the best manager. Just wait till she's the 10th manager. Then you're all going to be like, oh, I should have had more faith in her.
Lawrence Talbot.
You know, it's better than the Wolf Man.
Benicio del Toro.
Oh, you would be incorrect.
Michelle Pfeiffer's in
You're
it?
not wrong, Mr. Ellis.
Nope.
You
are wrong, Mark Riley. You are wrong.
There's more than one Del Toro in Hollywood.
1. Pens down. Going to you first. Tim working on a perfect game.
Benicio del Toro.
He continues it with that answer. Mark Riley.
Benicio
Well
del Toro.
done,
Yes, he
Mom.
has it. Stacey Howard.
Benicio del Toro.
And Ben to close it out.
Benicio del Toro.
He got it.
All right.
What a beautiful man he is.
So everybody playing very well thus far. Crimson
Fear
Fury
is a great technique for managing. So
Really great motivator. It's an incredibly great motivator, Morris.
If Tim gets this question
Ask
right,
Corey.
he has a perfect game. You'll be asked the bonus question just to you. Your last category is the world of animated movies. Movies drawn by hand or on a computer. The question, Robin Williams lent his voice
it's a solid
to
technique, I
animated
guess.
films in 1992. Disney's Aladdin. And what other film?
Was it Ferngully that year?
Teen Wolf.
Is he in that one? I remember Tom Curry.
Has aged the worst out of those 3.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I remember him in Robot. That was
I don't remember.
10 years later or something.
I was 2.
Okay, let's go with Ferngully.
Robots?
It is not robots. That's an incorrect answer, Stacy.
I don't know it.
Stacy doesn't have this, Ben.
Ferngully.
It is Ferngully.
His name is Batty.
Ferngully.
All
That's
right.
right.
That is a perfect game.
I loved that movie. I watched it way too many times.
That's a great question, by the way. Props to our question writer.
Oh yeah,
Who came
you
up with
give
that?
us
That was a
whiskey
great
props
question,
on the Ferngully
I like
pool.
that one. I'm hard on him, but I like that one.
All right, so Crimson Fury, 14-13. You have a
Tim
1-point lead over Who's the Boss, and that could turn into a 2-point lead because Tim Franco has a bonus question asked to just him. You don't need to write it down. You can just give Clark an answer whenever you feel prepared within 15 seconds.
Our bonus question.
Here we
Which
go.
SNL alum plays the annoying brother-in-law of John Candy in the comedy Great Outdoors?
Dan
That
Aykroyd.
is, his name is Chet Roman, and that's Dan Aykroyd.
That is correct.
Yeah.
even knew the name of the character.
Wow.
Yeesh.
Flexing.
Yeah, it's like, stop watching the Great
I
Outdoors.
said Tim Curry.
Anyway, we move on to round number 2,
I
where
say that
Crimson
out of
Fury is going to be walking into there with a 2-point lead.
Only
Mark, maybe
no,
not
that's actually not true.
what
So we only
a
give shit
lot
to people we
of
love, but no, we give
criticals
shit to
would have guessed,
everybody.
because who's the boss? Maybe they have more of a pedigree.
But we do give shit to
we're
people we love.
Fun here to play. In round number 2, it's the wheel
Like to
round.
keep
The
it
wheel of fate,
interesting.
doom, justice, and
So you
the
will never
wheel.
know.
For
Do they
today's
like
match,
us?
the entire
Do they
wheel
not?
is sponsored by a Schmoedown patron, Justin Roby. How about a big hand for Justin Roby?
Don't know who that is, but
Thank you for your
yay.
patronage, good sire. If you want to get your name read on a future matchup,
I'm drinking that White Claw. How's that mango White Claw?
Patreon and such which tier
It's
is
okay.
right for you
Mango's not my
today.
favorite, but it's all I can find in
His
Utah right
sausage
now.
slices
So
on the wheel are
Here.
Tarantino and
This
Jason
hot toddy,
Again, thank you,
y'all,
Justin.
with some
So that wheel is
Jameson.
going to have those 2 slices along with
Nice.
8
It's pretty
other
tasty.
corners of movie trivia.
one
I
of
don't
these
know how well
days,
the
I am going
public
to
is
make that
enjoying.
drink Danny
Each
keeps
team
talking
gets to
about with
spin
the
wheel.
lemonade,
Once
the
you settle on a
grenadine,
category,
and
you
the
use 6
Fireclaw.
questions.
I mean,
From that
Yeah.
category,
Fireball.
each question's
I
worth 2
keep
points.
forgetting to buy
No
the
penalty
stuff for it.
missing a question. However, stealing is available in round number
Oh, we
4.
have to
You can
definitely
ask
make that
the answer.
spectacular
You can ask us
during like one of our days. I plan on
Yes.
having that for breakfast
At that point, the
with
value
my
question goes down
pancakes
to
or something at some point.
So, Crimson
Fireball
Oh
for
yeah!
breakfast.
Yay for
Your
Daisy
question.
in
Do
LA.
you want to spin first, or do you want to defer to your
When in Rome, or in this case, when in LA.
We're gonna let them.
Win in LA.
All right, they're going to try to catch up right now. Ben, Mark, who wants to go spin the wheel?
I think we can assume now, considering it's a family versus
Right,
Paddington
Mark,
too, we know
All
you
right,
can't do
here we
now.
go. Spin that wheel. Now we do have spinner's choice
Awesome.
and bonus choice on there.
That's right.
Here we
I believe
go.
he's rubbing Action Adventure or just the wheel on his side. I couldn't really tell.
Oh! All right, well,
Oh,
we know that was 2000.
What's wrong with the wheel? It's been like doing that lately.
It's
How are the
been.
wheels up? It's a magnet.
Mark, are you keeping
I
Robin
have
Williams?
no idea actually.
Okay, they're gonna confer amongst themselves. They'll have about 15 seconds to do so. Robin Williams seems to be a category.
Quiet
And it
reflex.
looks like they're spinning again.
Quiet
All
reflection.
right.
They're gonna spin again. They're spinning away from Robin, and here we go.
If by quiet reflection you mean excessive day drinking and screaming at each other about whether we support a certain person or not, then yeah.
It's not going to be Robin.
quiet.
It could be opponent's choice. Fantasy sci-fi.
Ooh, interesting.
All right.
Would you stay on fantasy sci-fi?
So fantasy sci-fi
I would-
is what they have settled on. Fantasy
Maybe.
could be a lot of questions, could be a
Sci-fi is
lot of
more
different
strong for
stuff.
me than fantasy,
And they're going to have to do
but
some tough answering here in the world of
I probably
fantasy
would stay
sci-fi.
on it.
Real quick, what year did
Crimson
Alien
are
come out?
Faced with 6 questions, and Mark, if they get this first one right off the bat,
I'm not gonna move your release
fine with
date.
Crimson Fury, Mark, Ben, you guys
I love
play fantasy
Alien though.
sci-fi.
It's so
The
good.
first-
we have
What's the name of the title character
I
in
believe you have 2
Aliens?
AT rules remaining. That's what the scoreboard says. and
Ripley?
The scoreboard's never wrong.
Yeah.
There we go. We're cheering for electronics around here. Fantasy sci-fi,
Okay,
the
here we
first
go.
question, Ben and Mark. Who plays the huntsman in the film Snow White and the
Oh,
Huntsman?
that one. Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
2
No, we
points for
subtracted
who's the
Huntsman
boss.
together.
I know it's one of the Chris's. I never saw that movie.
All right, your next question.
It looked terrible.
It's a fun time. I enjoy them.
Nonlinear
Really?
orthography
I'll have to check
them.
it out. I
is a
trust your
form of
opinion, so I'll have to
otherworldly
watch it. 'Cause
communication in what 2016 sci-fi film?
What the fuck? Not wait, non-linear.
non-linear that
I don't. Okay, otherworldly communication. So it's an alien movie from 2016.
For
Arrival.
that is a nice pull for 2
Oh.
points.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
they now have the lead
interesting.
over Crimson Fury.
Mr.
by 2.
Alien.
First question, gentlemen, the world of fantasy sci-fi in the
Alien.
2011 film.
Okay, I have you know.
What item
Okay,
does
so
Joe always keep with him as a
Ripley, he
memento
actually
of his
he said when he initially put together the script. Oh, well, not. It was like when he was not put together when he was initially putting together the plot for Aliens. He thought the initial script had it where the alien and Ripley had some kind of weird sexual
We can
relationship.
accept
By
necklace
the end
for
of it.
2
It was really
points.
funky.
Well, is it a locket?
Damn.
And
sorry.
they are necklace locket, tomato, tomato.
I don't think I would have
It
liked
is
it as
now
much.
I know, and then thankfully it was cut. They were like, no,
Thankfully, they reconsidered.
you want a weird
Well, at least thus
alien
far. Your next
sex
question,
thing,
gentlemen.
it's
This is
like
your
X-ray.
fourth round number 2. What is the name of
We don't want
Maurice Evans' character, the lead scientist of the Ape National Assembly in the original Planet of the Apes film?
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I didn't watch the original.
Are there really 8 Planet of the Apes movies?
Go 5, 4, 3.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Thank you for singing it, and you are
What
correct.
is that supposed to be of?
I could have given one more point for singing it, but Simpsons, they truly
I
deserve
need
it.
to keep the newest category.
All right, gentlemen, you're throwing a perfect
Jesus,
round too, so
that's
we have any
intense,
bonus
Corey.
room, but
What?
they're, entertaining.
Interesting.
Your
Zany.
penultimate question in round number 2. In the world of fantasy sci-fi, who plays the vile Bellatrix Lestrange in the Harry Potter film?
Seriously? Helena Carter.
Yeah.
Do you remember when
Bonham Carter?
you were a Harry Potter nerd growing up, right?
Yes.
Did you ever get into wizard rock music?
That's right. Well, they have
Did I
one more
what?
question, so they
Get
can
into
really,
wizard rock
build a lead here.
music?
If they get this right, they have a 10-point
Like Harry and the Potters, and Draco and the Malfoys?
No, I didn't know that existed.
Okay, so imagine
fantasy sci-fi.
if
Your last question.
Hogwarts
What is the
had a
subtitle
battle of the
of
bands,
the 2017 King
and they're
Arthur?
all the bands are like wizard themed and witch themed. It would be like the Dementors and Half Bloods and stuff like that. That would be the name of the bands.
That's cool.
Yeah, I went to a handful of concerts here in St. Louis, and it was a fun time.
Go to 5, 4,
Sounds like it.
3.
Where was that here?
Legend
of the They were great.
They got
Wow, nice job.
Legend of the School.
Solid round
might
2,
not
guys.
need to add
Solid
that
round
to
2.
a
Mark, I don't know what they're actually talking about in that
25
15
and
seconds, but I can
15?
tell you this: they're not conferring about the answer. It's like they're talking about the weather or sports, and then we give them the countdown, then they realize they have to answer the
Wow.
question.
That was terrific.
Yeah,
I
well,
really enjoyed that.
we hope your dinner
All right,
reservations.
Crimson
pan
Fury,
out. It's
come
a
on.
10-point game now in favor of Who's the Boss, but now Crimson Fury may step up to the wheel and give it a spin. It appears to be Stacey Howard.
Good luck, Stacey.
Long storied history with all of the wheels that we have at the movie trivia Schmoedown. She grabs it from the pegs and the spin is in.
Look at that spin.
Look at the spin.
I mean, that is
someone who needs
she almost spun the action slice right off the wheel.
Oh,
And this is the 2000s. It gets knocked off, but it was 2000s. She's going to put the 2000s back.
I would go with that one. I'd be okay with that.
All right.
I think, personally.
I watched a lot of
What is it gonna
movies
end up
in the
as?
2000s.
They are going to spin again. All right, here we go. Stacey Howard working some frontier medicine. Well, fans of the movie trivia show.
Stacey Howard is actually Captain Marvel.
She is so strong and powerful that she destroyed the wheel.
Due to the nature of the injury and out of respect for the wheel's family, we will not show the wheel at this point. However,
Clark.
we hope it pulls through. We don't have any more medical information other than that. So what we are going to have to do is have Stacey Howard, who will heretofore be known as the Wheel Killer.
Stacey the Wheel Killer Howard.
Category.
She's a bracket breaker. She's a wheel killer. She is all powerful.
Can we make that a thing?
Tom Dagnino has to be involved. So
GTH.
nobody can hear you, sir. If you want to.
I'd rather somebody hold the thing away from her so it's too close she could possibly see in there. So I want somebody to hold it away. I mean, that's a
You will not be missed, Wheel.
It's reasonable.
It's a reasonable request.
That's fine. Hold it. Come hold it then.
It's a reasonable request. So
Absolutely. Come hold it.
I don't want to hold it.
Come hold it, bitch.
Come hold it.
Dex.
Come hold my bucket.
Hold my bucket, Dagnino.
Tom is going to hold
Matt, I love how she's like, hold my bucket. Hold it.
Something happens, you can only blame
bucket
yourself.
has pieces of paper with categories.
If I don't like it, can we do it again?
you cannot because you already had a spin at the wheel.
Wheel is slide.
Yeah. And what is the category?
2000.
We got scores and soundtracks.
Scores and soundtracks.
All right. All right.
Baby, look at his face.
Scores and soundtracks. All right. So, with all of that hubbub, we now have questions to ask. 6 questions to Crimson Fury in the category of scores and soundtracks.
Here we go. Question number 1. Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, ZZ Top, and Ted Nugent all provide songs for what 1993 comedy?
This is Spinal Tap.
Wayne's World.
That is incorrect for a steal.
I remember Aerosmith in that Wayne's World.
I do not know.
Wayne's World 2? No.
4, 3, 2.
Wayne's World 2.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer was Dazed and Confused.
Oh.
Dazed and Confused.
This category is my nightmare.
All right, back to Crimson
All
Fury.
right, question number 2. Who composed the score for Commando?
Are you fucking serious?
Multiple choice, please.
Yeah.
Is it A?
I'm sorry, is
Howard
Commando
Shore,
like common knowledge?
B, Jerry Goldsmith?
Of course, like
C,
everyone knows that,
Alan
except us
Silvestri,
apparently.
D, James Horner.
I'm gonna go with Horner. I don't know.
I don't know action movies. Like
I don't.
It's just a category of
Alan Silvestri.
movies I don't know. I didn't grow up with at all.
Once again.
See, I grew up watching action movies, but I never paid attention to the scores when I was a kid.
A, Howard Shore, B, Jerry Goldsmith, C, Alan Silvestri, D, James Horner.
Alan Silvestri. It's like an 80s action movie. Wait, so maybe not Alan Silvestri. I'm gonna go with Jerry Goldsmith.
James Horner.
That is correct.
That's what I
said.
I just guessed.
The
I
big
have no idea.
steal part. I
Big
mean,
steal.
we know that particularly Mark Riley's famous for knowing scores and soundtracks. It's a
Probably
category
bad.
you frequently see on the
You
wheel
want
of
that
who's
tuna
the
mac.
most competing. And so
Mm.
we'll see if Crimson Fury can make a late rally here in round 2.
All right, question
smell
number
the smoke?
3.
That's your hopes burning.
Who composed the score for Zero Dark 30?
Jesus. Heck, I don't know. Alexander Desplat.
Michael Giacchino,
Oh, it is an
B,
option.
Danny Elfman, C, Alexander Desplat, D, James Horner.
I'm gonna say C. I don't know.
Alexander Desplat.
So I had a teacher tell me pretty much how to cheat on tests, sort of. They told me,
Alexander Desplat.
That is correct.
woo! Okay,
For
they
1
told me,
point.
Yes, you got one.
usually there's 2 answers that are pretty obviously wrong. So if you're looking at a question you don't know the answer to, get rid of the 2 that you know are probably wrong, and then you have 50-50 shot. But if one of those is a C, pick C, because C is the number 1 used option that's correct in tests statistically.
Oh, that's
A
smart.
teacher told me that. I don't know how true that is.
Okay. Okay, it's definitely not the first one.
Is it Rocky?
Yes, absolutely.
Rocky 3?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Of course.
Very nervous. All right. Your next question. MIA's song Paper Planes appears in which Danny Boyle film?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire.
That is correct for another 2 points.
All right, so they're starting to make a run here just a little bit. They've gotten the last 2 questions correct, and so now they are looking at their last question in round number 2.
Leslie Barber composed the score to what 2016 film that was later nominated for a Best Picture Oscar?
That's a lot of hints.
That's a lot, and it didn't help me at all.
Leslie Barber is a composer. On top of knowing it's a 2016 film, on top of knowing it was nominated for Best Picture. Best Picture. So that could be
Lion, B, Hidden Figures, C, Manchester by the Sea, D, Hacksaw Ridge.
Manchester by the Sea. I'm going with that.
Go to 5, 4, 3.
Lion.
That is incorrect.
Can we hear the choices again, please?
Lion, no, Lion wasn't nominated for
Is
Best
A,
Picture.
Lion, B, Hidden Figures,
I'm gonna say C. I
C,
don't know.
Manchester by the Sea,
I mean, maybe it wasn't. I don't remember it correctly.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Talking it over, and I can't tell if they know
Hidden Figures.
That is incorrect. The answer was Manchester by the Sea.
C.
Manchester
It's
by
always
the sea.
C.
I was right.
All right.
I was
So that
right.
was quite
And
a
that's
round.
right, Malcolm. I'm going to be a great fucking manager.
Like they couldn't be knocked out because we just figured Who's the Boss knows so much about scores and soundtracks. They would continue to get steals, but they really used a lot of strategy.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Back into the game. They got a couple.
That's it.
Correctly.
So it's 26 and 20. Jesus.
Still going into round
That's
three of the
a
six.
big
Lead,
point
which nobody
difference.
would sneeze at, but Crimson Fury has
Going
a shot here.
into
And as we
Yeah,
move into
third
round
round.
three, here's how it works. Each team is going to give us a series of numbers. These numbers can range from 1
Yeah,
to 20.
round
Each number
2 is
corresponds to a
definitely
different
the
corner of
defining
the
factor as far as
Schmoedown.
who wins, for sure.
For sure.
Especially after rewatching old matches. I used to think it was like round 3, but after watching it, I was like,
Format works as the category question.
Yeah.
Team will have to
That's
decide
a
which
lot of
member's
work for
gonna
them to come
answer
back
that
up on round 3.
solo.
yeah. Like round 1 you can come back from. Round 2, however, if you fuck up at round 2, it's hard to come back from that.
That's true.
You find yourself in the lead by 6 points. Thus, you get to give us your 3 lucky numbers first. What feels fortunate?
True.
You guys smell that? It's their hopes burning up into the atmosphere.
I don't smell anything burning, thank God.
You hear that?
Maybe
go-
Ben's having a
Sound of
stroke.
no one laughing.
Ben's having a stroke.
Is it a toast?
No one was laughing.
I think we'll go 7. I think we'll go
You can
7,
them
12,
on loudness
and
one.
7,
Hot toddy.
12, and 17, and Crimson Fury.
6.
So you wish someone out.
Those are all available numbers, and now they've been taken by Crimson Fury. So Crimson Fury is going to be first up at bat here, Clark. Clark's going to be asking Crimson Fury their series of questions. I'll be handling the Who's the Boss question.
True.
Clark, when you look at number 6,
That's not ideal, but that
Crimson
never
Fury, what category are they looking at?
Go back.
We are looking at the category
Salty. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So Tim.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, I'll
working on it.
She's going to handle that one.
Man, I
Here's the
would-
thing about White Claw. It actually
Who stars
is not that
as
bad at room
Kevin
temperature.
Costner's
It's not great,
Ghai.
but it's better than beer is.
Rene Russo. Rene Russo. Rene Russo. I know that because I did a thing. I was helping Corey on sports movies. Rene Russo. She's on the cover.
5, 4,
Susan Sarandon.
That is incorrect. The answer we were looking for was Rene Russo.
Rene
Yes,
Russo.
great guess.
Big fan of Josh McCoy.
Manager of the year right there.
in that first 10. Rene Russo. So we stick with Crimson Fury for your 3-point question. The Fury, the CF, selected number 15.
You
Oh,
should
okay.
be.
Thank you.
Alex is the best.
Clark, what's he looking at?
Excuse me.
Category of biopic.
I have my moments.
You got this, Tim.
This is a must answer for Crimson Fury. In the category of biopics, who stars as Tanya's on-again, off-again boyfriend and husband, Jeff Gioli, in I, Tanya?
Sebastian Stan?
I was gonna say Winter Soldier, dude. Yeah.
Yep. He was so good in
Good
that
one.
movie. I love that movie. I watch it a lot.
I haven't seen it, to be honest.
I like the way it's filmed. Margot Robbie's great in it.
I've
So good.
I've heard nothing but good things. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's just
Off-again
so much.
boyfriend
Um,
and husband,
but I have seen a handful of scenes, and they're both in it,
I,
Mhm.
Tanya.
and it was kind of like romantic in nature. So
Yeah.
Should they?
Yeah, their chemistry was really good because their relationship was very on again, off again, where they were super in love or super toxic, and they did a good job pulling that off.
That's very real for a lot of people.
Jeff
I can only imagine like her situation though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, when I saw it, it was
relationship.
I saw it a week after I left my ex-husband, and it was just like it's kind of those movies where like it puts things in perspective a little bit, and I'm like,
George.
oh, watching somebody else go through stuff.
Yeah!
Oh!
Who's the boss? Ben Bateman and Mark Riley. Sebastian Stan.
I mean, this is kind of how I thought it was going to end, sort of, but I wanted. I really thought Crimson Fury could pull it off because they're been so great. But I have Who's the Boss taking the whole thing.
They have
Technically on my bracket.
a history of really great upsets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it would have been an upset, I would not have been surprised. But
Yeah.
put that hand down, Dagnito.
3 in the Ultimate
Stop it.
Schmoedown team tournament. I think Crimson Fury,
Bad.
maybe not their best match. They were throwing a lot of curveballs during it for sure, but I think that they adjudicated themselves very well. It's just that who's the boss too strong?
I mean, don't forget too, Tim's perfect round in round 1.
That is the truest statement about that movie.
Right? I mean, they were
I'll take your
off
word
to
for
a
it.
great start. I think ultimately maybe what sunk them was letting Who's the Boss go first. Who's the boss? You never know who's going to have a great round.
I was going to ask you, when the Shire Wolves were doing this, did you always defer? Did you always spin first, or was it just a field play?
It was never an always kind of situation, and Rachel and I have different thoughts on that strategy. I personally usually like to go first if I can.
Build a lead.
That's right. And also so I don't have the pressure inside my head of,
Oh,
God, what do I have to make up? You know,
hey, girl.
You can't go both
Going to
ways.
see you in a few weeks. Coming down.
We're gonna see you so soon. LA is just coming closer and closer, and I'm getting more and more excited, and also more and more stressed because I need to start doing laundry and packing.
Listen, I actively talk about it every day. Actively, like I'm not exaggerating. Like actively talk about it every day. Let's see. Mark Riley really wanted revenge for knocking him out of single tournament. Agreed.
Yeah, I think it shows too.
Remarkably well that first round.
His drive absolutely.
Again.
This one, come on.
Yeah, I had a good feeling going into the first round, and as the questions started coming, I was like, I'm feeling pretty good about this round. I think I'm going to go perfect, and I did.
Yay!
Normally
Less than
the wheel
2
round
weeks.
hurts people, but you hurt the wheel, Stacey.
I've been doing a lot of Zumba, a lot of body combat.
It shows, Stacey. It shows.
And I didn't mean to, but I'm such a strong woman inside and out that sorry, it happened. It's dead. It's gone.
Ultimately, you
Not
were
gonna lie, I'm
strong
very
enough
happy to see
get
it die,
you guys
Stacey. So
through
you did us a
scores and
favor.
Soundtracks. I'm really bummed when that happened because it's obviously a strength of Ben Bateman.
It is.
And Mark Riley.
It is, and it's a hard category for me. Really, he knew, all the answers that we did get. So, I think with the wheel break, it was kind of a bad omen for us. And sometimes, stuff happens in the middle of a game. We all took a knee, took a moment to regroup, and we couldn't get it back after that. It happens.
I wasn't bummed about scores and soundtracks because I think it's kind of like a secret strength, but some of the questions we got today just were not in my wheelhouse. I mean, I think we did well though because it wasn't in Who's the Boss.
I can't even imagine the amount of work you have to do right now for everything for Spectacular.
So often
it's going to be good though because you're the best. I'm excited to see
it.
Corey says, bad wheel, terrible wheel. Con, it could be a wrestle for manslaughter wheel.
Obviously,
it's
true. Tournament, but where do we go from here?
A loss is a loss, but we currently have our legal team looking into filing some kind of possible.
Just what I need to cry in front of an audience. You should cry by myself.
Sex dungeon. This is
oh my god. Yes.
And we're just gonna.
We're all just here to crack the whip at Nerd Chronic. That's a fact.
We're very happy.
Come on, Eric, get it together.
Get it together.
Why are you watching, guys? Go. No, please stay and watch.
You're working now.
Please stay. Don't leave.
Showed a lot. Furries too are good people. We learned a lot about ourselves as a team, and we're ready to move forward. And if Tim's ready to catch another bus out from whatever state we bust him in from, it's going to be good. And I'm actually excited about it.
Well, I've learned a lot about corruption as a team.
First of all, Corey, how dare you?
Like I said, tough loss today, guys, but I'm excited to see you guys bounce back at some point. Obviously, we're done with the tournament, but we haven't seen the last of you guys.
We made our waves in the tournament. We'll be back.
You will.
Well, we learned a lot about furries. We learned a lot about bug trips, and we learned a little something about the wheel as they pee on its grave before it's even been buried. Clark, clearly a dejected Crimson Fury, but they still seem to
You are very correct.
Spark to it.
Look, this was a tough round and tough.
We finally saw Stacey break that fucking wheel at the box.
Is really anything to sneeze at. They played really, really well today. It didn't go their way. Obviously, scores and soundtracks, as Jen pointed out, the more that those categories get asked, the deeper those cuts get. She is right about that.
It's true.
And some of those questions were rough, but Who's the Boss wasn't able to take a lot of those steals.
So I think it helps with scores and soundtracks if it's a movie that has like a very memorable score where you'll actually go listen to it outside of watching the movie. You don't go and look for the soundtrack for Commando, do
And Jack LaLanne's
like
grandpa.
I'm sure it's an iconic soundtrack. Maybe we just don't know it. You know, maybe we know it if we heard it.
Yeah, maybe.
Elevation.
You know,
Thermo viscosity is of air is dynamic and kinetic, and we're both dynamic.
Drink.
And
It gets better the more and more you drink it. By 5, you'll be an
No,
addict.
not a
so
clue.
just
But you guys have to be
drink
pretty
drink
good about
5 really quickly together.
it's seltzer water without the bitter aftertaste. That's all it is. It's really yummy.
today. But obviously, you played so well in that first round. Tell me how you were feeling when you went into the second.
I am pacing
feeling
myself
good. My
because
partner played
after this,
pretty damn
guys,
good in that first round.
probably in
I
about
had
like
to
20
stumble
minutes
on a
or so,
couple
maybe a
there,
little
but
bit
man,
later,
that second
we are going to
round, I
have our
felt good.
regular
That-
pod episode
Mm-hmm.
where we'll be discussing what happened this week, speculating,
Fantasy
answering
Sci-Fi
questions
can
from
be
the
so
chat.
many
So I
contestants.
look forward to that.
Plenty of
And
teams
Alex is hosting.
absolutely be out of the game after
So
round
I will be
2, and you
drinking
guys
another one of
absolutely
these during
Yeah,
that.
well,
so I'm pacing
and
myself.
maybe add it to a
So I'm
Sphinx
not
list.
a bubbling
I
moron
gotta say, I
during
was
the
happy with
podcast.
those results, my friend. So feels good. Feels good to do this, and also
If I do my job right, I'll get you to a bumbling.
She did play well.
By the end of it.
Hit yourself. Now you're going to be facing either the Paddington 2 or the family, and I think it goes without saying that you guys have a little bit of a history with the family, specifically Andrew Ghai. Ben, how are you feeling about this?
Well, you know, they're 4-0 right now against 2 half teams and 2 loser teams. So, you know, I have respect for winners. You know, this guy right here has got a degree in thermodynamics. We've got a degree in winning and beating imposters that think they're good heels and like to play dress up. So, you know,
You're not supposed to be a heel, Ben.
You're not a heel.
You're not a heel.
He's a
I
heel.
know.
Come back to us, Ben. Come back.
I want
Look, you know,
I want my dad back.
I want to be at a live event
what I did.
where suddenly Still Dre just pops up
was no way
and I will
Stacey
hysterically
Howard
happy
pick
cry
out
in
the-
front of
the little
everybody.
jar.
And I don't care who sees it
the
because
tin bucket.
I want my dad's
I want our dad. We need to parent trap them in LA. Parent trap them. Like we'll just like do this like scenario. We'll sneak them together and then we'll force them to love each other again.
I
Fine.
will. Okay, I'm not okay. Just here to have a moment. I will legit cry if they somehow come back together. If somehow, some way, for a live event, can you imagine came back together? The tears that would flow.
Anybody
glad
with
you took the
insider
microphone from
information,
me
if
to
you
say
ever
that,
know
guys.
that that's coming
Back
to a
to
live
the
event,
Jess.
all you need to do is message us, be like, you guys have to be at that live event. Don't say why. Just be like, you have to be at this live event, and I will be there. I will take your word.
Like you have to be here. Like even if you miss out on these other ones, but you have to go to this one.
Yeah, and then we will be there. Because if I'm not there, my life will just feel meaningless at that point. That's a lot of stake I'm putting on those guys, but that's okay.
Pressure. It's only like our
A lot of pressure to put on them.
you know, but whatever.
Main events at the Schmoedown Spectacular. Make sure you get tickets for that right now. The Schmoedownlive.com. Tons of epic matches, a lot of surprises. The chairman will have a little bit more insight on that draft. It's going to be live in Los Angeles. You do not want to miss this one-day event. It's going to be tiring for us, but luckily,
Who knows?
they
We're going to
might
be at the
have
draft,
some
right?
juice on
So
Yeah.
if they get drafted in the same group,
Well, I appreciate you joining me.
You're
on
not.
the
That's not gonna. That's not gonna
Platform
happen.
Review.
we'll have to
Next
see.
to me on the answer desk.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Wolf's latest
No.
project, Satanic Panic, available right now.
Well, actually, now that I think about it,
Enjoy movie content. Me, I'm
the
Mark
family
Ellis.
ticket, they wouldn't be able to separate, would they? If they were part of the top team.
In the meantime,
Top
you can check
team?
I think it depends on how much they win versus lose. So I think it just depends on what happens throughout the tournament, whether they're considered a top ranked team or not. They might be no matter what. I'm not sure.
I can't remember if it's like the top 4 or 5
Crazy numbers. We need you.
total technically stay together. They have to stay together. I can't
You
remember.
know, Meyer Burnett, you think you're good at this? Infants. Janine. Oh, hey.
He's like low key an actual heel.
Listen, it's
Type it to
I'm
heel.
glad I caught you here.
What's
As you know,
happening?
the draft is coming up soon, and
I'm
next
aware.
season. And you and I had a little bit of history, but that is all behind us now. Yeah, I think really you are a tremendous competitor. You know, you're 3-5, and you and Jay Washington maybe had a good thing going.
He's
But
that way 5 and 3, right?
I don't think you were actually 3-5. I think you just haven't had the best leadership. All I'm saying is you should have
Wait,
been
like
champion.
3 wins, 5 losses?
And
Really? Is that the record?
That surprises me. I didn't know that.
If you want it.
What if Emma steals Janine?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. James is not a great manager. That's
the work he puts in.
no, it's like actually I remember hearing him, like I can't remember if it was like on a podcast or it was an interview or something like that, but he talked about how he didn't think competitors should have to work that hard to be good, or it was something along those lines. I'm taking it out of context.
Yeah.
And everything. I understand that. And I'm sure there's like a much more expansive version of this, but I know he made a handful of comments talking about how, competitors shouldn't have to work so hard to do well, essentially. And I was like,
that's not entirely true, Jay. If you look at the competitors who study,
this is why
do
you don't
better.
have champions. Yeah, that's why you've never had champions on your fucking team. But anyway, maybe he was in character. I don't fucking know. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I didn't listen to it, but it was just like something like, that doesn't sound good. Yo.
Well, that was a great match. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the highlight for me was probably the wheel breaking because it was hilarious. But it was great. I mean, it didn't happen. I mean, it ended kind of how I thought it was going to end, but not. I was kind of hoping it was going to be an underdog story with Crimson Fury winning again because they're just such a strong team. But I do have Who's the Boss going to the end, really, anyways. So, how are you feeling? Because you were rooting for Crimson Fury too.
I mean, like I said, I went with my heart and my head. My head said, Who's the Boss? Considering their record. Considering, I mean, it's Riley and Bateman. I mean, there's such a, Bateman's gonna have a singles belt or a team belt at some point. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Riley's a former champion as well. So I feel like they're very much an unbeatable combination. In Crimson Fury, it's such a new, fresh team, and I really love underdog stories, and I love underdog teams.
Me too.
And like I said about Stacy, she's definitely, and she's not very talked all that much about how great of a competitor she is. I feel like we should definitely talk about like our top 5 most underrated competitors for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And she I feel like would top that because like I feel like we're never learning our lesson. She proves to us how solid of a player she is. And then we underestimate her every time. And that's on us as a fandom. We need to like give her the respect she deserves and she's earned.
Yeah, and it's not just luck. Absolutely, it's definitely earned. It's not just luck where she's like pulling rom-coms every single time. I mean, she's getting these categories that she's not familiar with and that she's uncomfortable with, and and she still has like pretty deep, and she does very well considering. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation we can have for another time.
Maybe later on our podcast episode coming later.
Absolutely. Definitely another one. But yeah, so like I mentioned, my heart went with Crimson Fury. I'm a little sad about that, but I am proud of and excited for Who's the Boss. I mean, it's Bateman. He's our boy. So fuck him.
I mean, I'm excited to see where the rest of the matches go, but I'm not going to lie. I would love to see the family versus Who's the Boss. I feel like that would be an amazing match. No matter, I mean, I know who most of the call to action would want to win that, but really, I would be happy with either of them winning. So that just makes me more invested in just the actual game itself, like the actual questions. So if that happens, I'm in for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this season really, obviously, I don't want to say put her on the map because it's not the season put her on the map, but it's definitely the season that it was like, I don't want to say it's a season of Stacy, but it's a season Stacy really was like, fuck yeah, I'm here to play. I'm here to compete and be awesome. And you guys aren't paying enough attention to me. So that's the change today.
Yeah, it better.
So it's sad for her. So.
All right. So I think we've covered it pretty good. Got to get ready for our next show. So, Alex, where can people find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter. I personally run the Call to Action Pod, podcast pod. That's our Twitter handle. But if you're acting with us on there, you're interacting with me personally because I'm updating and everything pretty regularly. And we also have a Facebook group which I regularly post and do a bunch of stuff on. So please like that group. Please like that group. Please hang out with us there. And also now Wednesdays, we switched it from Tuesdays and we're moving it to Wednesdays, Wednesday evenings now. I host our Schmoedown Schmobates, where we host Schmoedown themed debates. And this Thursday, I mean not Thursday, but this coming Wednesday, we're gonna have a Thanksgiving themed episode. So a lot of really cool questions are gonna be debated.
All right. And you guys can find me at KelseyKens90 on Twitter and Instagram. Also run the Call to Action Podcast Instagram, so you can find me there as well. Mm-hmm. And TeePublic. We got the cool new Chill to Action shirt. We have our classic shirt. I mean, come on, duck yourselves out and call to action and let's see you at Spectacular because that's what I'll be wearing. So you'll be able to find me. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. It was great seeing you guys. See you in a little while for our regular podcast. And we love you. Bye.
We'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.